Welcome to The Randy Report. I'm Randy Slovacek, your host. I'm also the writer and editor of therandyreport.com, where you can find me every single day reporting on the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community. In this week's headlines, the island nation of Malta approves marriage equality with a huge lop-sided parliament vote. An attempt to block health care for transgender military service members fails in Congress. The recent Broadway revival of Falsettos will screen in more movie theaters nationwide for an extended run thanks to popular demand. All that and more in this episode of The Randy Report. The island nation of Malta became the 24th country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage this week, as lawmakers in parliament approved the measure by a huge lopsided victory of 66-1. Prime Minister Joseph Muscat, who won a second term in office on June 3rd, campaigned on the promise to make marriage equality the first vote of the new parliament. Malta approved civil unions in 2014, and in December became the first country in the world to ban ex-gay torture. The one no vote came from a Christian politician who told reporters, "A Christian politician cannot leave his conscience outside the door when he enters Parliament." And that's all right, Mr. No Vote, because we had 66 people on the right side of history. Love is love is love is love. Another win for the good guys, kids. HBO's Real Sports is the first Western media outlet to score an interview with Ramzan Kadyrov, the head of the Chechen Republic, who is one of Putin's strongest allies. Real Sports procured the interview in part because it's doing a piece on MMA in Chechnya. As I've reported many times here on the Randy Report, since April we've been getting reports out of Chechnya that the government is rounding up, torturing, and in some cases killing gay and bisexual men in the country. During the interview, Kadyrov was asked about the alleged torture of gays in his country, and he laughed, asking, "What's the point of these questions?" He continued saying, "This is nonsense. We don't have those kinds of people here. We don't have any gays. If there are any, take them to Canada. Praise be to God, take them far from us so we don't have them at home. To purify our blood, if there are any here, take them." And then later in the interview, there was this part, where Kadyrov says, quote, "We will put the world on its knees and screw it from behind." End quote. He seems nice, huh? The interview will air this coming Tuesday on HBO. Scott Franz, a sophomore at Kansas State University, who also plays offensive tackle for the football team, has come out as gay in an interview with ESPN. He told the sports network, "I came out to my teammates and I've never felt so loved and so accepted ever in my life than when I did that. And ever since then it's been great. I've grown so much closer to my teammates since, so it's been an amazing experience." The Wildcats coach, Bill Snyder, had brought in a motivational speaker who encouraged the players to reveal details about themselves that they had never told anyone else before. Franz said, "So the first time I said those words were in front of, 110, 120 football guys. You can imagine how scared I was, how nervous I was. This could go either really bad or could go really good, and thankfully, my teammates embraced me with open arms, and it was great." The sophomore tackle said he knew he was gay in 5th grade, but that it took until his junior year of high school to accept it. He said he didn't tell his family until a week after the locker room announcement, and he told ESPN that he didn't discuss his sexual orientation with recruiters out of concern that it would keep him from getting offers to play football in college. We'll see if this impacts his football career. Last season, he started 13 games. This fall, Franz and Arizona freshman Mike King Johnson will be the first openly gay active college football players in the 2017 season. Good luck, guys. The U.S. House of Representatives voted down an amendment this week proposed by virulently anti-LGBT Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler of Missouri that would have barred access to transition-related health care, including critically important hormone therapy for transgender service members and military family members. The amendment was defeated by a vote of 214 to 209, a margin of only 5 votes. OutServe SLDN Executive Director Matt Thorne issued a statement which read in part, Congresswoman Hartzler's attempt to strip health care from service members and their families in a time of war was unpatriotic, unconstitutional, and just plain vile. We're pleased to see that the House of Representatives voted down this amendment. Since October 2016, it has been the policy of the Department of Defense to allow transgender members of the armed forces to serve openly and authentically. Estimates show that there are more than 15,000 transgender individuals currently serving in the armed services. In addition to these service members, thousands of service members also have members of their families who are transgender. What can you do to help? You can go to outserve-sldn.org on the internet and follow them on Facebook and Twitter. You can read and be up to date on the issues and know when is the time to call your congressman or your senator and be informed on the issues. Another win for the good guys, folks, but just barely. Broadway theater fans, due to overwhelming demand and multiple sold-out screening locations, a filmed version of the recent hit Broadway revival of Falsettos will screen in more movie theaters nationwide for an even extended run. The Tony Award-nominated production is currently in movie theaters across the country, and that engagement has been extended now through July 26th. Falsettos is a hilarious and poignant look at a modern family revolving around the life of a gay man, Marvin, his wife, his lover, his soon-to-be bar mitzvahed son, their psychiatrist, and the lesbians next door. Originally created at the height of the AIDS epidemic, this timely musical about middle-class family dynamics actually manages to remain buoyant, uplifting, and yet satirically perceptive, even as it moves towards its heartbreaking conclusion. Writing about the recent revival, The Advocate called it once innovative and now imperative. The 2016 production, which was taped in January on Broadway, was nominated for 5 Tony Awards, including Best Revival of a Musical, and its 4 leads, Christian Borle, Andrew Reynolds, Brandon Uranowitz, and Stephanie Block, were also nominated for their performances. If you can't make it to a theater near you, Falsettos is also set to broadcast on PBS in October. But seeing the show on a big screen with an awesome sound system obviously makes for a better experience. You can look online for tickets at falsettosincinema.com.
And that brings me to the end of this episode of The Randy Report. If you enjoy catching up on LGBTQ news in a quick podcast, I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends. I like to think of The Randy Report as the 60 minutes of gay news, only shorter. And remember, you can find me every single day on the internet at therandyreport.com, where I cover the daily news cycle in terms of politics, pop culture, and entertainment news of interest to the LGBTQ community and its allies. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.